Hey everybody, RGR here, bringing you another post-narrated Pokemon Showdown Battle. Now, here's the thing really quick. Post-narrated? Yeah, for the most part, post-narrated Showdown Battles are done on my channel. Those are going to be live from now on. The reason for this one is that I was not actually even planning on uploading this battle, to be honest with you. This one's an exception, because this battle ended up being pretty awesome. This is a battle with my new team. You haven't seen this one yet. This is the team that I'm planning on using for next week's Wi-Fi battles. And this battle, I was just doing some team testing, but it just ended up being pretty sweet. This is what happens when you have two players of pretty much the same skill level and two teams on just about the same, equivalent teams and equivalent players. That's all I'm really going to say about that. We're just going to go into it and you'll see what I mean. Alright, so my opponent's gonna lead with Ferrothorn, and I predicted that, so I led with Hydreigon. Now, I'm just gonna go for this Fire Blast as he switches out into his Blissey and sponges that nicely. Now, I'm choiced into the Fire Blast here, so I've got to switch out, and I go into my Aegislash. Now, my Aegislash is only a special attacker, but I am bluffing any sort of physical attack whatsoever, and he falls for the bluff and switches into Sableye as I go for the Automatize. Now, he's gonna go for that Will-O-Wisp here with Prankster, but I am just gonna go for the Shadow Ball, so that matters for nothing really. And now I'm predicting him to switch out here, so I switch it up and go for the Flash Cannon instead of the Shadow Ball again. So I get a little bit of damage off on the Blissey, but not really because he recovered that. Anyway, so now I go into Sylveon, and he's just gonna protect to scout me out and get some more burn damage off on me, but I'm gonna go for the Heal Bell to get rid of the burn on my Aegislash. But he goes for the Toxic, which is unfortunate, and I'm just gonna set up another Heal Bell so that way I can get rid of it as he goes for the Seismic Toss. Now that doesn't really do anything to my Sylveon, and I'm predicting him to go for Toxic again, so I switch out and go into Skarmory, blocking that, and I'm just gonna set up the Stealth Rocks on his switch. Now he goes into his Ferrothorn, I'm gonna switch out into my Hydreigon to threaten that thing again. He's gonna go for the Stealth Rock again, and I know that he's going to switch, so I double out into my Medicham. He switches out into his Blissey to block the Fire Blast, and now I've got a pretty solid type advantage here, but he's got two Ghosts, and I am predicting him to switch, which is why I go for Ice Punch instead of the High Jump Kick. He actually went for the Protect though, and then switches out into his Bronzong, and here I went for the Psycho Cut so that I could get some damage off on the Blissey, but I missed the High Jump Kick when I stay in. Now he sets up his screens, and I'm just gonna be out and go into Thundurus. Now, I just want to get some status off on this thing. I'm gonna take advantage of my Prankster and try and Thunder Wave that thing, but the Ferrothorn comes back in, and I get paralyzed off on the Ferrothorn, so that is kinda nice, I guess. Anyway, so now I switch back to Hydreigon again. He's gonna go for the Leech Seed, get a little bit of damage off, and I'm just going to double out into Medicham, expecting him to switch. Sure enough, he does. He goes out into Blissey again, and now I am still not going to go for the High Jump Kick because I'm predicting him to do just that, and sure enough he goes for the Jellicent. I go for the Bullet Punch. I'm gonna go for the Psycho Cut, but he's behind screen, so that's not going to do anything. He burns me, and now my Medicham is pretty much all but worthless, but I do have the Sylveon, and I can get rid of the burn. So as he switches out into his Bronzong, I am just going to go for that Heal Bell once again. So no status on my side of the field as he goes for that Gyro Ball and does solid damage to my Sylveon, but not enough to take it out. So I switch out into my Aegislash, knowing that I'm going to resist if he goes for another Gyro Ball. So he comes back into Blissey, expecting the Shadow Ball, and sure enough, that's what I go for, and he's immune, so I can't do anything to this Blissey, so I switch out into my Skarmory. Now, he's gonna switch out into his Gliscor, and at this point, I don't like any of this stuff on the field. So I go for the Defog to get rid of the rocks and the screens and everything like that. He's gonna go for the knockoff, but I don't really mind all that much. Skarmory is very bulky and sturdy and everything like that, so I don't really care. At this point, I'm just gonna try and break his sub. He's not going to be able to do much to me with knockoff, so there it is, I break his sub. Now, knowing that he's going to go for another sub, I'm gonna switch out and go into my Sylveon. And at this point, he's just gonna set up another sub, and I'm thinking, it's about time for a kill, right? Hopefully? He sets up the Toxic, and I go for the Hyper Voice, go through the sub, but that is not going to do enough damage to really do anything. Now, he's gonna withdraw, realizing that I can attack behind his subs, and I'm just going to go for a Wish. To be honest with you, he should have probably gone for an Earthquake there. That would have gotten rid of my Sylveon, but didn't happen. Now, I protect and get myself some nice health back, and I'm still toxic though, so I'm just gonna go for the heal bell there to get rid of it. Now he's gonna go for a wish of his own, and at this point he's just trying to heal up everything on his side of the field. He heals up his Gliscor, comes back with the Blissey. I'm gonna go for the Hyper Voice to try and get some damage off on the Gliscor, but since he came back into the Blissey, it's not gonna do anything. Now, we're both going for Wish, and I am just gonna switch out here, go back into Medicham, and so now, my Medicham and his Sableye are back at full health. So, now, I switch back into Sylveon, because I figure, if he's going to be Wish healing his entire team, well, I might as well do the same thing. Either way, I go for the heal bell to get rid of the burn on my Sylveon, and now I'm going to switch out, go into Thundurus. He's going to set up the light screen again, and I am just going to taunt this thing so he can't get, well, I was thinking he was going to set up his other screen, but he tried to go for Stealth Rocks. So he comes back into Ferrothorn now on the predicted Thunder Wave, and now I'm just going to switch out into my Hydreigon, knowing that this thing's going to go for the rocks. He actually gets paralyzed, which is very nice, as I go for this Fire Blast again, and the Blissey comes out to sponge that again. So, now I have to get out of there. I go into my Skarmory, he goes for the Toxic. We're just holding each other off. This is a complete stalemate. I'm gonna roost up, get my Skarmory back to full, go for a little bit of an attack, but with Rocky Helmet, Recoil, Poison Barbs, and Leech Seed, I'm gonna lose like half my health, go out into Hydreigon, double back into Skarmory, because that is going to scare him out into his Blissey for the billionth time. Now, he's gonna come back with his Ferrothorn, I'm gonna go for the Defog again, and now I'm just gonna go for the Roost. He is going to go for the Leech Seed, and that is kind of okay, but I'm going to switch out here into my Hydreigon. He's going to go for the Stealth Rocks again, and I'm going to switch out into my Medicham. Now, he is going to switch, go out into his Blissey, and he's going to double back into his Ferrothorn for some reason. I didn't quite understand that, but I went for the Psycho Cut. Maybe he just wanted to get some damage, but I finally get a kill with the high jump kick. First kill of the game, and my opponent decides that he's not going to play anymore, and so he loses due to inactivity. He just kind of stopped. Yeah, so that was the whole thing. That was a pretty ridiculous battle. The whole thing was a total stalemate, and we just held each other off for ages. I literally think that we were playing for like an hour or something like that. I do not even know. But whatever the case may be, that's a preview of my new team. So I'm still testing it and everything like that. So we will see how it works out. I'm gonna try and make some improvements to it, because I think that there are some that can be made. And yeah, so that's what you're looking at for next week. Anyway, if you enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, because I'm definitely going to keep on bringing you these videos. I enjoy making them, and I certainly hope you enjoy watching them. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for spending your time with me. Alright, have a good one.